There is a type of psalm in which the psalmist leads the community, the congregation, the aidah, the ecclesia, the gathering, we might say the church, into a time of thanksgiving by telling a specific story from their shared past in which God miraculously intervened to rescue, restore, deliver, or heal his people. They are sometimes called community psalms of narrative praise. The community comes together to give thanks and praise to God for how he intervened in a specific instance. Psalm 107 contains 4 of these narratives or stories of thanksgiving. We're not sure how this psalm would have been performed or expressed. Perhaps each story served as a verse. That's maybe how we might have done it if we were doing it. So in a psalm of narrative praise, you're looking for a story of a specific crisis which causes the community to cry out to God, followed by a specific act of deliverance, followed by an expression of thanks to God. The form looks something like this: a community in trouble, a specific trouble. The community calls out to God for help. This is the second step. The third step, God delivers them, complete with a description of how God delivers them. And then the fourth step is thanks to God for his deliverance. Oddly enough, though we do a lot of singing in our churches, we have few songs which speak of God's specific deeds for us as a specific community. We're too transient to endure, too fragile for the deep relationships that are required, too self-absorbed to sing, God, we are, we have, we plead, we need. It's all I, me, mine, or much of it is. We struggle to sing, God, we have seen you work on our behalf. We've raised a generation as a result that has no idea what God has done for his people in the last 50 years. And maybe this exercise will inspire you to write a corporate psalm of narrative praise. Pause the video, read through Psalm 107, and see if you can find the 4 different stories in Psalm 107. Remember, this is poetry, it's music, it's art. Try to look for the rhythm rather than a chart. So I trust you did pause it. Here are the 4 accounts. God delivered us when we were hopelessly lost. That begins the first story, verses 4 to 9. God delivered us when we were in prison. That's the second story that begins in verse 10 and runs through verse 16. God delivered us when we were sick. That starts in verse 17 and runs to verse 22. And God delivered us when we were in trouble at sea. That starts in verse 23 and runs to verse 32. So I trust you found those. And again, I want to encourage you to consider maybe writing a story of how God came through for you following this form.